Hey everyone and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that's literally all around us, every single day, diversity. But what does that word actually mean? And more importantly, why is it one of the coolest things about our world? Let's jump in and find out.
Okay, first things first. Let's try a little experiment. Just for a second, look around you, wherever you are. Do you see anyone who is a perfect 100% copy of you? You know, the same face, same hair, same thoughts? I'm guessing that's a big no, right?
And that's exactly the point. Take a look at these drawings. They were made by kids just like you. Each one is totally unique, with its own cool style. That's what people are like. Every single one of us is an original, one-of-a-kind masterpiece.
So, all this means that being different, whether it's the language we speak, the holidays we celebrate, or what we believe, isn't something that pulls us apart. Actually, it's the complete opposite. It's all the stuff that adds color, spice, and a ton of fun to our lives.
To really see how this works, let's dive into a story. It's about two boys who happen to have the same name, Samir, but their lives couldn't be more different. So let's see what happens when their two very different worlds collide. All right, let's meet them. So first up, we have Samir Eek. He gets to ride his bike to school every day. And then we have Samir Do. He doesn't go to school. Instead, he's out there at a busy crossing selling newspapers to help his family. So one day, Samir Eek asks to buy a newspaper in Hindi, and Samir Do is just totally stunned. His question, "You mean you know Hindi?" It might seem simple, but it was the very first clue that showed just how huge the gap between their lives really was.
And I mean, let's just break it down. Look at how different they were. Samir X spoke English, went to school, and was Hindu. Samir Do spoke Hindi, had a job, and was Muslim. We're talking different languages, different daily lives, different religions, you name it.
But here's the best part. Did all of those differences matter? Did they stop them from connecting? Not a chance. They started talking, they learned about each other's worlds, and they became really good friends. Samirek and Samir Do.
Their friendship is such a great example of how awesome diversity can be. But their story also has a really sad twist. See, some fights broke out in their city between different groups, and the very next day, Samir Do was just gone. It's a powerful and kind of sad reminder of how fear can sometimes break those beautiful connections. You know, the story of the two Samirs really makes you think about something important. Not all differences are created equal. Some are just a part of what makes us unique, but others, well, others point to a much bigger, more unfair problem called inequality. Think about it like this. Samir Ek being Hindu and Samir Do being Muslim, that's diversity. It's a difference in their background that makes the world more interesting. But Samir Do not having the chance to go to school, that's not diversity. That's inequality. It's when someone doesn't have the same chances and opportunities that other people do.
And that really brings us to a huge question, doesn't it? Is that fair? Because this isn't about choice. Inequality happens when there's a lack of resources and opportunity, creating a system that just isn't fair for everyone. And that's a problem we really have to think about.
Okay, so now let's zoom out a little bit. How does one country end up with so many different cultures and people in the first place? Well, two of the biggest reasons are geography, the land itself, and history, the story of all the people who've lived there over time.
I mean, just look at this. It's an incredible contrast. On one side, you've got Ladakh, a cold, dry desert way up in the mountains. And on the other, you have Kerala, a warm, green, tropical place right on the coast, known for its spices. You can already tell life in these two places is going to be totally different.
And check out how the geography shapes pretty much everything. Up in the mountains of Ladakh, people raise special sheep for their amazing wool and eat things like meat and milk. But way down on the coast in Kerala, they grow spices and eat lots of rice and fish. The land itself totally changes how people live and what they eat.
But wait, it's not just the land. History plays a massive part too. See, both Ladakh and Kerala were on these super important ancient trade routes. That meant traders from far-off places like China and Arabia came through, bringing their own foods, beliefs, and traditions, which all got mixed in with the local culture to create something brand new.
So, this brings us to our last, and honestly, our most powerful idea. What if having all this variety, all these different cultures, languages, and beliefs isn't a weakness at all? What if it's actually a country's greatest strength?
A perfect example of this in action was during India's struggle for freedom. The British rulers thought, hey, these people are so different, we can easily keep them divided. But they were so wrong. People from every single background, different religions, different regions, all came together for one single dream, a free India.
This incredibly powerful line comes from a song that was written after a really tragic event called the Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. A big group of unarmed Indians, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs all together were peacefully protesting when they were attacked. They stood together and they suffered together, and this song became a symbol of that shared sacrifice and their unbreakable bond.
This really gets to the heart of an idea from India's first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. He basically said that Indian unity wasn't something that was forced on people from the outside. No, it was something that grew from the inside, from a deep history of accepting and even encouraging all sorts of different beliefs and traditions. And Nehru found the perfect words to capture this amazing idea, a phrase I bet you've heard before: unity in diversity. It doesn't mean a country is strong even though it has differences. It means it's strong because of those differences.
And I'll leave you with this final thought. Next time you hear the Indian national anthem, listen really closely to the words. It's not just a song, it's like a map of the country's amazing diversity. It mentions different regions, from Punjab to Bengal, bringing all of them together in one voice. It's the perfect celebration of unity in diversity. Thanks so much for tuning in.